What is the nuclear rapture? The nuclear rapture is a byproduct of the nuclear attack by Russia upon the USA. When Russia bombs the big cities of America, around 200 million souls will depart their bodies in death. Around 2/3 of that number will be Christians and Jews that will be taken to heaven. That is the nuclear rapture. But Christ said the rapture would be from horizon to horizon. That's Matthew 24, verse 30 and 31. Well, if North Korea bombs South Korea right after Russia bombs America, that would fulfill Christ's words about horizon to horizon. For South Korea is the farthest horizon opposite of the USA. It's the opposite side of the world. Now, most Christians think a horizon to horizon is inclusive of all the areas in between. But that's not the way things will play out. Christians in South America and Africa and most of Asia will not go up in the rapture because Russia is not going to be bombing those countries. Only the USA. Christians that don't die at the rapture can't go to heaven at that time. The only way you go to heaven is by dying. The Christians that don't die will go through the trib. But don't worry, the trib will only last for 5 months. That's Revelation 9, verse 5 and 10. Paul the Apostle speaks of, quote, the trumpet of God, 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 16. That so-called trumpet is simply the roar of the nuclear bombs detonating. How can Christians be dying at the rapture when Paul clearly says, quote, we will not all sleep, of 1 Corinthians 15, verse 51. Well, right after that, Paul explains that we will be, quote, changed in an instant from physical to spiritual bodies. The idea is that we won't leave sleeping corpses behind, that dying people usually leave behind. When Paul says we won't all sleep, he really is saying we won't leave sleepers behind. For our corpses will be turned into vapor by the heat of the nuclear fireballs. Our corpses will disappear instantly in the twinkling of an eye. This will fulfill Paul's words. Nuclear war truly will fulfill 1 Corinthians 15, 51, and 52. Where in Bible prophecy does it say that the Antichrist will cause the departure of saved souls at the rapture? Well, Revelation 13:7 clearly says, quote, the beast will make war against the saints, meaning the Christians and Jews, or rather the countries that are predominantly Christian. More accurately, the Antichrist will make war against the leading Christian countries that have been restraining him and his country, namely Russia. The NATO nations are the countries that will be hit. Yes, NATO is the restrainer. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 6 through 8, in the New King James Version. It doesn't have the word restrainer in the Old King James. If you find a good New King James, you'll see it does have the word restrainer. Now, I said that Russia is a country ruled by the Antichrist. Now, everybody knows that Daniel chapter 7 says the Antichrist will rule Europe. The fourth beast in Daniel 7 is the Roman Empire, which is equivalent to Europe. And then the word beast is extended to apply to the man who restores the Roman Empire. He is called the beast. So how can the Antichrist rule Russia and also rule Europe? Well, obviously, Russia will invade and conquer Europe. Okay, where does it say that the rapture will occur at the time of the military attack by the Antichrist, who is also called the beast? In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, Paul says, quote, that day, talking about the day of the rapture, that day cannot come except, ... the son of destruction be revealed. By what? By the destruction that he launches. Like a painter is revealed by his painting, the destroyer is revealed by the destruction he launches. The son of destruction is a Hebrew way of saying the word the destroyer. The son of destruction equals the ultimate destroyer. So the revealing of the destroyer occurs when he launches nuclear attack. Yes, launching all-out nuclear war would reveal that person to be the ultimate destroyer. You may think that I'm accusing Vladimir Putin of being the Antichrist, the beast, the destroyer. Almost. Actually, it's Gorbachev who is the Antichrist. He is in power. He is still in power, even though he supposedly resigned in December of 1991. Putin is his front man. Putin is the puppet, and Gorbachev is a puppet master, even though he's 93 years old. If we think of Putin as Darth Vader, Gorbachev is the emperor that rules over Darth Vader, the Truman Capote character. Emperor Palpatine. Let me say it one more time in closing. 5 months is the length of the tribulation. The the idea of 7 years is just too long. Christ said, I come quickly. This means that once the tribulation starts, Christ will come quickly from that point. Christ says, I come quickly. That's Revelation 3, verse 11, and chapter 22, verse 7 and 12 and 20. I will write a transcript in the description box under this video.